Hello everyone, welcome to the Jargus Ranger Review. This time we'll be looking at the 4th episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, Presto Changeo. Now this is more of what I was hoping to see out of Ninja Steel, this episode overall. And as the title suggests, we're going to be looking further into our Blue Ranger Magician. So it starts off with Preston. He's giving a little magic show demonstration at school. But of course, Victor Vincent has to intervene. And he pulls a rabbit out of his own hat before his trick. And so everyone laughs at him. So he is in the hall talking with Brody. And then to his surprise, there's 2 rabbits in there, but Preston's own rabbit is still in his cage. He don't know where it's come from. Preston believes now he can do real magic. But Brody suggests he goes talk to Mick. Well, he takes the 2 new ones to the pet store. So he does talk to Mick. And he basically says that when you have the Ninja Steel, its power can amplify your deepest desires and passions. And since we learned that Preston wanted to be a magician since he was pretty much 5 years old, so for at least 10 years, maybe more. We're not really told their exact ages here, but I'm assuming he's at least 15 or 16. But he also instructs him to be careful with it. And as Brody is coming out of the pet store, he sees a buzz cam and we have our new monster attack. This time it's Galvanax himself with his most important minions, or subordinates. So first is Brody talking to him. They're pretty much saying that, no, I raised you, I took you in, and it's like, no, you kidnapped me. So they're about to fight each other, but the other 4 Rangers show up, and they just say, whoa, he's big. And since Brody said ninja shows no fear, they just start mocking him. And really, Galvanax, my big complaint is he's supposed to be the big bad as he's presented. But really, he's seen as really, kind of dumb. Just the way his mouth keeps hanging open, and the way his voice sounds. He does not sound intimidating in the least. So, I don't know what's going on there. Do they plan on changing him? Have someone else take over? Or is this just an unfortunate voice with a Sentai costume? But really, he's pretty underwhelming as any sort of presence. He really feels like he could be a monster of the week the way he looks and acts. Anyway, Madame Odious just tells them that, yeah, you're out of shape, champ. If you fall even once, you're seen as weak to your fans, and they hate weakness. So instead, he lets a turtle monster named Slogar fight him, and he claims that he'll have his fight one-on-one with the Red Ranger. Oh yeah, and our Girl Rangers say, no, you're not the champ, you're the chump. And he just looks so hurt by it and surprised. It was funny. I don't know if it was... I think I found it funnier than it should have been. Anyway, the Rangers fight him, and they do an instant morph. We don't see an elaborate sequence this time. And they're doing okay with him until he's a little too fast. And he sprays something on our yellow, pink, and white Rangers. Seems not to affect him. But then Preston, he uses some magic stuff to have dragon fire come from his wrist. And basically it scares him off. And he's just so impressed with himself after they demorph. He's like, whoa. He really wants to do a good magic show now. Unfortunately, 3 of the Rangers did seem a little off. And he runs off without them to start his show. Well, set up for it. And first he tries pulling a kitten out of the hat, this time calling on Victor Vincent to be his audience participant. And unfortunately, a giant, I don't know, is it a panther maybe? I don't know my exotic felines that well. But I think that's the black one, black looking one. So it kinda makes everyone in the room back off. But it goes back into the vortex inside the hat. And this time Victor nominates Monty for the next trick, which is the old classic saw a person in half. Except it really did magically, and his legs run away. But they can't do anything to fight because the monster's attacking again. So Brody says we'll fix him later. And here's when we see what his spray did. Our other 3 Rangers are basically moving in completely slow motion. Nothing's working. Even their talking is slow motion. So when they try to morph, he just steals all the ninja stars. Unfortunately, for him, Brody convinces Preston, who's now unsure of his ability, to use his magic to trap him. And what he does is just throws a bunch of scarves that bind him up, and Brody gets him back. And while he's just holding him there, he explains to Preston that, yeah, he was trained with all his great ninja skills when he was a kid, but not to use them for his own gain. Just like Zordon taught the Rangers not to use their powers for their own gain. So his power's probably going haywire because he's not using it to help others, not responsibly. So that's all the confidence he needs to pretty much start fighting him back. So they just use their fire element and then the water element, the stun slugger, and then they just combine their sword techniques to destroy him, which brings our other Rangers back to normal. Yeah, so far nothing special as far as the fighting is concerned, but the action is decent enough, it keeps the plot moving along, and it keeps me from being disinterested. So now for the Megazord battle. They form their regular Megazord like the last time, but they can't keep up with him. So Brody detaches his red Zord and just tries chasing after him, but it's just not good enough, because as a giant, a Slugger can fly. So then Preston detaches his dragon and burns him. And they figure out, hey, we can combine our powers another way so the Megazord can fly. And this time the Megazord the Blue Dragon Zord sits on the seat or the throne that the other Zords make, and the red one becomes the arm. So now it's the dragon formation. And its attack, it can just like shoot fire at him, of course, and fly, but its real finisher is a lightning move, where it just tears through the ground itself, and then into the monster and blows him up. So that's it for our action. Obviously, Galvanax is unimpressed, but apparently he's going to go into training to get in shape and fight again. So hopefully he'll have a different looking body when that happens. Now, back at school, Preston puts Monty back together, only when he comes out the box, he's completely square shaped. Yes, a square. And he starts making puns and mocks off. Though Victor Vincent says he turned into a human chimney. Everyone's surprisingly fine about that. Even Monty is like, whatever, he can joke about it. But that's actually good though. He's not just someone that Victor can push around. He has his own sense of humor and his own sensibilities. And I'm glad about that. It shows a little more confidence in his character. Speaking of confidence, Preston is a lot more confident in this whole episode. Because these whole past few episodes, he's been really unsure of himself. I don't know if that's part of the actor or how the producers want him to be portrayed. But I'm liking the way Preston sounds when he has some more confidence. Even after the episode, he owns up to how he was pretty much selfish. And everyone says it's okay. Then they have one last surprise. And that's that they fixed up Brody's father's old truck. Made it all good and well again. Oh yeah, they were working on it earlier, I just didn't mention it. When Preston was trying to tell everyone his ability. One problem, Red Ranger, you don't have a driver's license. Right now, I don't think you even have a home. So good luck driving that on the streets. And there we go. Overall, this was a very solid episode. It shows a great amount of what Ninja Steel can really offer. And also advances our villain some. Because they pretty much acknowledge that he's seemingly incompetent. And hopefully that'll lead him to changing and becoming something different. Because really, as a big bad, he just does not fit the bill at all. And everyone's seen pretty okay this time. The one scene I really liked is at the end when Monty walked off, they showed Mick looking at him, and he's like, oh, okay. He's just fascinated by his behavior. Now they just throw in some good references to some good fans. One of it is that they say a ninja fighting a turtle, no way. And also that he's been shell-shocked. And if you didn't know, there was an episode back in Power Rangers in Space called Shell Shock that had the Power Rangers team up to Ninja Turtles. And it fits nowadays because Nickelodeon airs both Power Rangers and the new Ninja Turtles. And they also have SpongeBob SquarePants, which is probably why I think they made Monty square in the end. Just to tie all three together in one bundle. This is definitely an A episode. I recommend seeing it if you want to try Ninja Steel. Anyway, I'm Jargus Zero. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next episode. Until then, let that power protect you.